Hello, everybody. Welcome to Womenlines.com show. Friends, it is commonly said behind every successful woman is a fire that refuses to be extinguished, a vision that breaks boundaries, and the courage to turn dreams into reality. To honor the spirit, let's celebrate Women's Entrepreneurship Day, which is observed globally today. At Women Lines, we are proudly celebrating Women Entrepreneurship Day with Association of Business Women in Commerce and Industry, ABWCI. ABWCI is a global chamber that supports women in business by providing a network that connects women across diverse sectors globally. Through mentorship, training, networking, opportunities, and funding initiatives, ABWCI fosters equity and inclusive prosperity for women in commerce and industry. I take pleasure to welcome Ambika Sharma, CEO, ABWCI, a development sector professional with over 25 years of progressive experience in evidence-based policy and action research, research management and communications, organizational development, change management, and strategic partnership development in context of South and Southeast Asia. Welcome, Ambika, to our show.
Thank you so much, Charu, for those encouraging words. And let me sort of start off by wishing everyone a Women Entrepreneurship Day, not just women, but men as well. Because let me just remind everyone that entrepreneurship is business. And women aren't the only ones who are in the space of business. Men are as well. So many congratulations to everyone, because when we celebrate an international day, it is to spotlight issues and to spotlight on that thematic. Thank you so much, Women Lines and Charu, for doing this. You're a huge support in how we're trying to strengthen this ecosystem globally. Thank you.
Thanks to you for your time, Ambika. And yes, I am looking forward to know more about ABWCI. Can you share some insights about ABWCI?
Sure. So ABWCI is a global chamber for women in business. While there are several support groups and there are other sort of like-minded chambers, we take a lot of pride in the fact that we are more, while it is about commerce, we're also about collaboration. And we are a platform that brings together women in business worldwide. We're currently in 44 countries. And we have we have some absolutely amazing, power-packed, brilliant. I mean, I lose out on words to describe the women who lead our chapters in these countries. It's voluntary spirit, but these are all women entrepreneurs themselves. So they are business women first, advocates later. And it is this network that we're trying to put together to build a strong voice, a strong community, and basically be able to create an ecosystem that builds businesses. This is about, this isn't about, trying to create a system that is self-serving, but essentially creating an ecosystem that allows women to rise and shine and grow and make money in the businesses that they're setting up, basis however they want. It is about celebrating who you are, where you are. You could want a tiny piece of the pie and you could want the whole pie. So ABWCI has 4 verticals in which we provide services. There is access to finance, access to markets, access to technology, and a broader policy environment. And we do this through different models. We also work with rural entrepreneurs as much as we work with the urban setting and context. At this point in time, one of the other things that we're very strongly advocating in the finance vertical is access to finance through accelerators, through incubators, because a lot of it is also about additional skills. It's about upskilling. So there is a whole package of services that ABWCI is pushing out there, which we call our business support services through our preferred service providers. And I would encourage all your viewers to sort of look us up online. It's free. And when you engage with the service provider, there is a model that they follow, which suits their business.
Fantastic.
So, yeah.
I must say, brilliant work by ABWCI team. First of all, they thought of a global ecosystem, and we are having very few organizations who are thinking like that. So it's a brilliant concept because then women entrepreneurs from different parts of globe can be connected together, and so
Hmm.
many things come in my mind that so many things can be done together, and it can help so
True.
many women entrepreneurs for their different requirements. So hats off to whole team. I will love to share some history about Women Entrepreneurship Day, how it happened. I was just curious. So,
Mm-hmm.
it was founded in 2014 by Wendy Dammit,
Hmm.
a philanthropist and a social entrepreneur, after she witnessed the positive impact of microloans on women's businesses during a trip to Honduras. And now it is celebrated in 144 countries, out of which 44
Hmm.
countries you are already there. With the support of the United Nations, and WT highlights the contributions of women-led businesses across various industries, from startups to traditional crafts. So fantastic day to celebrate and acknowledge all women entrepreneurs, on all entrepreneurs across the globe.
Hmm.
Because yes, they need that setup, they need that ecosystem which can help them to continuously, passionately keep working for their passion, because it's not
Hmm.
easy to be an entrepreneur, and only entrepreneurs can understand what is required to be an entrepreneur. Sometimes when
Yeah.
I read a quote that entrepreneurship journey is like a walking in a park, and that park is a Jurassic Park where every day you're facing one new dinosaur. So such
Yeah.
organizations, when we come across and they are there to help us, I think this can be a game changer for many women entrepreneurs. At Womenlines, we ourselves are trying to support women entrepreneurs, provide them content marketing service so that their digital footprints are across the globe and they can be more visible and their reach out is better than previous. So,
Hmm.
yes, I'm curious, Ambika, what are your insights? Like, what can be done more to make this day better and it can be more impactful?
Hmm. So like I said earlier, I firmly believe that any international day, and the Women Entrepreneurship Day in particular, presents an opportunity to galvanize more support and gain momentum for the work that's already happening within this space. Um, and if you look at strategies for amplification,
Right.
because you rightly pointed out, and you sort of gave us the history of the day, and there have been things that have been happening from when the day was first instituted to where we are today, but we still feel there isn't enough. So I feel there are a couple of things that can be done. One whole piece is around awareness and education. And I feel that one of the things is that all educational institutions should have curriculum embedded that speaks about women entrepreneurship or entrepreneurship for women. Just as part of a module. I also feel that one of the spaces that you're in, which is the social media or the digital space, primarily because it's an equalizer. It kind of reaches out to such a large sort of audience, to be able to share some very, very inspiring stories and statistics in a way that is consumable.
Right.
You can share information, but if I can't eat it and digest it, I'm going to probably throw it out.
Very true.
So I feel that's one space. The second space I feel is around resources. For women in business, we say that access to resources is one of the biggest barriers. All kinds of resources, not just financial. So I feel on this day, one of the thing could be to again, offer coaching, training, mentoring beyond just leadership skills, but on actually how to grow your business.
Very true.
What does it take to go from 1 million to 200 million? Because, on a special day, everybody's eyes and ears are tuned in into that particular topic. So I think it becomes very important to highlight some of these things. I think one of the other things which we do enough of, I think, these days, but perhaps not in the most inclusive way possible, is celebration and recognition. There's an award night happening literally every week, every second week,
Yeah.
every third week. which is celebrating women in leadership and
Yes.
women in business and this and that in the other. I personally feel that beyond hosting these receptions and these networking sort of ceremonies and all of that, the celebration should be attached with something that allows that person to leapfrog. So I'm actually calling out to angel investors, high net worth individuals, that while we're identifying, groups like ABWCI and Womenlines and other groups are identifying these women, you need to then help them take forward. We've done our bit.
Correct.
We've told you who they are.
Correct.
You need to now move this forward. And I think these are the kind of asks, and these are the kind of shout outs and call outs that we should do on the day that has been dedicated towards women entrepreneurship.
So well said, Ambika. And I hope and I pray that your words reach out to the right ears and some action is planned across the globe. Something happens and we have some new celebration where we are really supporting women entrepreneurs in real way. Besides
Mhm.
giving her recognition, prizes and awards, the real need is how we can solve a problem. So yes, we need such work by other investors and other right authorities who can help them better way. So I definitely agree, and will I how much you're observing about the mental health right now? Like mental health issue is quite a concern, and especially for women entrepreneurs. Being a women entrepreneur myself, I myself have some challenges sometimes, and I work upon it how to solve those challenges. But it requires efforts, awareness, educating myself. Are you observing around your area
Mhm.
or around the globe? You have something to share about it?
Yeah, I mean, it's a very straightforward question, but it's also a very deep question. And I think it's something that's been bothering humanity as a whole ever since we've come out of COVID.
Correct.
I think that has, while, mental health in a lot of countries is still closeted and people don't want to talk about it, in a lot of other places, it's now become something that people are open about and are willing to talk about. And like other health issues, I mean, certainly this is a very big thing. And from my own experience, I can tell you that, I have had the good fortune and privilege of interacting with a lot of women in business, in the entrepreneurial journey, who have had to struggle at one end of the spectrum, and some who have had instant success or have had a lot of backing and have come from privileged backgrounds, and which is wonderful for them.
Yeah.
But for the ones that are either struggling because this is their life dream, or situationally they've had to get into this, or there's a financial constraint, or the fact that access to finance for women continues to be a huge problem. You do take on additional stress, and women, we know, are multitaskers.
Yeah.
We're caregivers. You're a mother, sister, daughter, all of that, and we will never get a break from that. For whatever it's worth, men can take a break from being a father. A woman cannot take a break from being a mother. It is how we are. It's also
Correct.
how women are born and conditioned. So I feel that one of the things, an influencer who's also a mompreneur told me was that her trick to keeping her work-life balance and her mental stability was prioritizing. She said, we don't prioritize ourselves. If we prioritize ourselves, we take away a little bit of that additional stress. I think this extra anxiety that comes from wanting to be good at everything, that I think is very unique to, again, mompreneurs and solopreneurs and women in that space. I think another space is where, because you're trying to achieve something and you're trying to prove something to the world, there's burnouts happening.
Very true.
There's intense burnout, exhaustion that I'm noticing, because just because you're trying to prove something, you've set up a business, your business is doing well, it's growing at a certain pattern, but somehow it's not acceptable because it's not acceptable to society that it's growing at 2x and not 20x.
Correct.
So I feel that's the other space
That's
you
other
need to,
space.
like snap out of. And I think there's also stigma. there continues to be the stigma around women. While, and I'm sitting in India right now, and we talk of women as Shakti and power
Right.
and strength. My own name means that. But at the same time, we're always being judged as the weaker sex. That, oh, she's a woman, she's not going to be able to pull this through. So that brings additional,
Burden.
mental stress to prove that I am stronger, I am better,
I can do
all
it.
of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so mental health, I think for women in business comes in a slightly different way, who are in entrepreneurship than for people who are in day jobs.
Correct.
But I just want to just add one sort of thing that the the way around this, I feel, is one, of course, breaking all of these stigmas. Two, I think it's about creating safe spaces. If we don't create safe spaces in the working environment, in places where you can experientially, sort of share your angst, support groups that are meaningful and deeper and allow you to engage and all of that, where wellness, self-care practices are part of the group.
The
It's
discussions,
like
the
a default.
sharing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It's like a default thing.
All thing.
Um, I think till we don't do that, it's going to be a spiral.
Right.
Women are always going to have to be proving stuff. And therefore, continuously be succumbed. And finally, I think we're just born as hormonal volcanoes. I think from the
Correct.
day
I
we
love the
die, we're
term.
born to to the day we die. Women go through this cycle of hormones, which makes it that much more difficult to deal with health issues as well. So yeah, I mean, that's my take
I
on it.
love
I mean, it's
all
not.
the points, especially the last one is very important. Every woman in business, in fact, not women in business, every woman should be having her in her own inner circle where she can be
Hmm,
authentic herself and they should be sharing
yeah,
about other ways besides the gossips. They should be sharing about how to take personal care or what's she can be authentic and share her problems and she can get the solution from others because that
right.
helps in reducing the stress and you can get better solutions which you are trying to find yourself. So, as you mentioned, the first point, start prioritizing yourself, friends. Give yourself
Hmm,
importance. Your health is wealth for you and your family. So, once you are stronger, you will take better care of others. So,
absolutely.
yes, let's cheers for women entrepreneurs across the globe. May God bless everybody and may God guide for their growth and their happiness. And thank you so much, Ambika, for your time.
Thank
We
you so
had a
much.
great conversation. And I pray your words reach to the right ears and we get better support from different fraternity across the globe. Thank you so much.
Thank
Best
you. Thank
wishes.
you so much. Take care. Bye
Take care.
bye.
Bye bye.